A beautiful and young woman is standing at the door of her home. Her name is Jane Witherson, and she's the owner of the Witherson farm. Suddenly, two men come on her direction. It's Two and his henchman. Two is an important man in the city of Cottonwoods. Go and find Venters, Two tells his henchman. Venters is disliked by the people of Utah because he's a stranger. The henchman goes inside the house and comes back with a tired Venters even though Jane yells at him to stop. We are going to drive you out of Utah, Venters, Two said, and if you don't go now, we will beat you and then we will take you out. Venters replied, You are just jealous too. You want to marry Jane so you can have her and her land only for yourself. Two's face went red with anger, and he shouted, That's enough, Venters. We'll beat you and then drive you out. And Jane was crying for him to stop. Wait, the henchman yelled. There's someone coming. And then they saw a dark and mysterious figure dressed in a black coat and a black hat. The stranger came near and walked towards Jane. Then he asked her, Are you Jane Witherson, ma'am? She replied, Yes. Then he said, May I give my horse some water? She said, Yes, of course. But the stranger saw Venters and he asked him, Why are you tired, young man? The boy replied, I came from Illinois to find gold, and later started working for Jane and became her friend. Now her people want to kill me. Jane yelled, Stranger, help him. But Two said, It's too late, we'll beat him in the sage. But after a moment of silence, the stranger said, Wait, the boy stays. After that, Two turned in the direction of the stranger and stayed face to face with him. Then he said, Who you think you are? It's two of us against one of you. But suddenly, the stranger's hands moved fast and there was a gun pointing at Two's face. Lester! Venters cried. Lester was a dangerous gunman who had killed many people from Utah. Afraid of getting shot, Two and his henchmen went away. After the men went away, Jane asked Lester, I thought you were my people's enemy, but you helped me. Why? Then Lester replied, I hate the men of Utah but not the woman. Why do you hate them? Jane asked. Then he explained, 12 years ago, a girl was stolen from her husband. Her name was Millie Earn, and one man of Cottonwoods took her. I came here to find her and save her, but alas, I got to know that she's dead, and now I'm here to see where she's buried. Millie was my best friend, Jane said. I was with her when she died. I'll take you to her grave. In the evening, Jane, Lester, and Venters found Millie Earn's grave. It was a long way from Witherson Farm. Lester gazed at the grave and shook his head sadly, and then he went away without saying a word. When Venters got to be alone with Jane, he said, Jane, I cannot stay on your farm anymore. If I do, your people will try to kill me again. Lester lives on the sage, so must I. Remember, Jane, you have friends. Then Venters went away and slept in the sage. When he woke up, he saw Lester and decided to go talk with him. After some time, Lester asked, What can you tell me about Millie? Venters said, Not much. She was brought here by a man of Cottonwoods along with her baby girl. But then the people took her baby away, and she got ill and died. Do you know who took her? Lester asked, but Venters said no. After some time, Venters said, Let's go give our horse some water. I know a place near Witherson's farm. When the two men were almost getting there, they saw Jane screaming for help. Help! Help! What's wrong, Jane? They asked. Then she said, Rustlers have taken my red herd. Please help me to get them back. Venters said, I'll get them back for you. Just give me one of your fastest horses, and I'll go after them. So Jane gave him Rango, one of her fastest horses, and Venters rode away to find the rustlers. When he was almost getting to the place he thought to be the rustlers' hideout, he found the masked rider and shot him, but found out soon enough that the masked rider was actually a woman. After that, he took her to a safe place, where no one could find them. After a few days Venters went away, Jane received a visitor. It was Dyer, the leader of her people. Dyer was angry at Jane because she had accepted Lester in her home. He was screaming at her when suddenly Lester itself appeared. There was this loud noise and Jane passed out. When she woke up, there was only Lester holding her hand. He explained he hadn't killed Dyer. He only shot him in the arm. While that happened on the farm, Venters got to know the woman he had saved. Her name was Bess. Venters found out that she had always lived with the rustlers and didn't remember much about her childhood. In the few days they were together, they fell in love and decided to start their lives from scratch. So Venters said he had to go to the farm and pick up some supplies. That's what he did. When Venters got to the farm, he talked to Jane and Lester and asked them for the supplies he needed. Jane gave it to him without hesitating. After this, he said goodbye and went away, without saying a word about Bess. A few days had passed, and Jane was very unhappy. All her riders had left her because of Dyer's orders. One day, she said to Lester, "I give up. I am going to Dyer to tell him that he has won, and I'm gonna marry whoever he wants me to marry." But Lester said, "No, you're not gonna marry whoever Dyer wants you to marry. You're gonna marry me. Now, tell me, Jane, was Dyer the man who took Millie?" She said yes. After knowing that, to avenge Millie and save Jane, he went after Dyer and killed him. So both Jane and Lester ran away from the farm because the people of the village wanted to kill them. But on the way, they found Venters and Bess. On this moment, Lester recognized Bess as being the daughter of Millie. Then he revealed he was Millie's brother, therefore Beth's uncle. But they couldn't enjoy the moment because Stu was after them. So Lester threw a rock at him, and he died. Now everyone was happy and safe, and Venters, along with Bess, could go to a better place.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right